Good morning. It is 8:45, and I just woke up. I woke up earlier at like 6, and I wrote down my dream, and then I was like, I think I can sleep some more. My body's been very tired, so I did. Okay. I'm just trying to think. Is there anything I want to say this morning? Just keep being told to slow down. Slow down, relax. Slow down, relax. Slow down, relax. Even my dreams, it's literally like both dreams. It was like slow down, relax, and I'm like, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna slow down and relax. Isn't that crazy? So I think today, you guessed it, I'm slowing down and relaxing. Yeah, I'm taking my roommate to the airport at around 7 in the evening. So other than that, let's see. What's the weather looking like today? It's gonna be pretty nice. Okay. Sunny. Theoretically no rain. Decent temperature. So I think what would be really cool? To grab some I was thinking maybe I could grab lunch and go take that lunch and walk through like some sort of trail and then eat somewhere like in nature. Thought about that. Then I thought about all the logistics of how that would work. And then I also remembered that I wanted to start eating my my first meal more consistently. Again, I'm not trying to be anal retentive like I was in this first part. There's kind of more ebb and flow with the food now. And I do love that first meal that I make. That's like the second meal, questionable. Like I think the stopgap I did before I left totally makes it viable, but it is kind of a stopgap. So maybe I'll literally do avocado toast, where I just throw some guacamole on 2 pieces of toast and call it good in the evening. I don't know. We'll see. I wanted to get a couple things that I've found over time, over the few years that I've been messing around. So there's this bread, the Ezekiel sprouted bread, that I really like. So I was thinking about picking up a loaf of that. It's the the healthiest bread I've found that I like, because it's basically the cereal version, or the bread version of the cereal. So it has a lot of the same properties. So maybe I'll make some like avocado toast with egg for the evening. That kind of sounds really good. And let's crack an egg or two, do some sunny side ups, throw it on avocado toast, and then yum. Okay. I think that's my plan. Right here, there's a little bit of pain. I wonder why. Okay. So I guess that means I'll probably get some toast. I also thought about there's this Violife cheese I like. It's not healthy. I'll just say that. It is very much a processed mess. So I don't even know if I want to have that around. You know what? I've decided I'm not going to have that around. If I want to have a cheese experience, I will just have a slice of cheese. Maybe I'll get some sharp cheddar and just do a slice of sharp cheddar on the avocado toast with egg, and then boom, done. That's a meal at that point. Yeah. Because I was thinking, I like grilled cheese. And grilled cheese is very much a comfort food. But I was like, oh, I could do the Violife cheese. But man, I honestly think just eating cheese is better for me than eating the Violife, like, fake cheese. Because that cheese is so processed. Whereas at least with the sharp cheddar or whatever cheese, it's not gonna be just pumped with all sorts of like chemicals to just make it taste like cheese. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let my intuition kind of decide when I'm there. Other than that, I'm thinking... oh, you know what I could do? I just thought of this. I could do Parmesan. Parmesan is like... it's been the cheese, I think, for me, that has been the least reactive to my system. So just doing a little bit of Parmesan, like, might be worth it. We'll see. Again, we'll just see. Yeah, I might even just do like an egg scramble with some Parmesan instead, and then do toast with avocado, like avocado toast, egg scramble with Parmesan. And then maybe a fruit. Sounds pretty good. Okay, anyway, I want to do more walking because I don't think I did as much walking as I would have liked yesterday. So don't know what that's going to look like. I kind of wanted to unironically go to a crystal shop today. Because I've seen... I guess I need to do a little bit of research on the types of crystals that are used for, like, tarot decks. Because I've seen some readers have crystals that they place on the tarot deck. And I'm not sure. I'll have to see if I can find, like, a YouTube channel, or something that goes into detail on, like, crystal technology. I don't know. I don't know the right definition when it comes to the energetic part of crystals. So, but anyway, my point is, I think it would be nice to just start working with them a little. Just to dip my toes in. Especially because if I think that, you know, my hands have this ability, seeing what happens when I channel it into a crystal would be interesting. Oh, I got a very detailed... I was very surprised. I didn't fully... Where is it? What the heck? I'm sorry, I'm looking for this post. I posted on Reddit, and there was a response that I got. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So this person, to me, it was a very interesting... Yeah, okay. Sorry, I like accidentally clicked the open inbox thing and then saw more messages, and I was like, distraction. So I got a very detailed response from this guy, or this person, I guess. I don't know if it's a guy or not. And they were talking about... So the post I made was, I was like, okay, so here's my first gift, here's my second gift. I've come to realize that in actuality, I think I have a gift for each chakra. And I'm like it just kind of came out of nowhere, where I was like, wait a minute, because I started thinking about the different things that I like have access to that I don't see other people doing or experiencing. And then I started kind of like going through, and just things started matching up subconsciously to like the different chakras. And I'm like, oh, this is the third eye. Oh, this is the crown chakra. Oh, this is the heart chakra. Oh, this is the, whatever. So, I'm not too sure some of the chakras on what what the gift is specifically. But now I'm almost certain that there's a gift like residing within each chakra. I don't know if that's for everyone, where that's just a thing that, you know, people, as they awaken, they get a gift in each chakra, or if that's just a me thing. But I think, yeah, I think there's something to it. So I talked about the third eye chakra gift, which is seeing into people and being able to kind of like get to the root of things really fast. And then I also talked about the healing gift, which not really sure where that would fit. You know, it's a hand thing, but there isn't like, I don't think there's like a hand chakra. So I'm not really sure what the healing gift would be attached to. Maybe root chakra? Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so I talked about that, and then I just asked the question. And the first thing that this guy or this person starts talking about is researching their dreams since 2017. And they kind of painted a picture of their journey of learning their gift of dream reading. And then the person kind of talks about feeling like dreams are like free therapy from spirit, which, you know, that makes sense. The more you kind of lock in on what your dreams are saying and you start actually like understanding, there's something there. The person also linked a dream Bible and then some interesting. Okay. And then the person kind of talked about this behind the name thing, where if there was some sort of name that popped up, to go and look up the like what the name's kind of meaning was, and then combine that with, you know, a trait or something that you saw from the person. So I guess, well, okay, hold on. I guess we can do this in real time, because there was a guy named John that... Okay. Let's just... I mean, we're about to go and do this. English form, the Latin form. It was derived from Hebrew. Yahweh is gracious. It means Yahweh is gracious, from the roots, referring to the Hebrew God, to be gracious. Both highly revered saints. Yeah, that makes sense. John the Baptist. The second apostle, John. Yep. Excuse me. Okay. So I guess if I'm trying to do this as accurately, so this person, if this recognize this person, then combine the meaning with a general trait that I see or saw in that person. Okay, so the general trait that I was seeing, because this guy John, I knew him back when a long time ago, and so he put all of my clothes in the freezer instead of in the dryer. And I was very unsure of why he did that. But it was like he was like trying. He was really trying to like do the proper thing, but he just kind of messed up on like, he's like, oh no, those are supposed to go in the dryer. It was very much like, it wasn't like I was mad at him or anything. It was just more of like, it's like, you tried. So I guess kind-hearted. Okay, so kind-hearted combined with to be gracious and kind-hearted. Okay. I'm going to write this down, because I might as well, if I'm going to, this is my dream journal. I am very close to needing another dream journal soon TM. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting my keyboard out of the way. Okay. So this dream, to be gracious plus kind-hearted. Okay. They give... Okay, so I'm going to read this real quick. I might as well, because you guys are probably like, whoa, what does it actually say? So this is the paragraph before the linking of the dream stuff. I feel dreams are like free therapy from spirit. They give from their understanding. It is our free will to interpret what is and what is not. I feel the same can be said if one were to give advice to another. Do not allow yourself to feel like you are correct all the time. Allow the other to make their own choices about what is and what is not. Okay. That did not clarify the dream stuff. But that is good advice, though. When interacting with other people, they have free will. And so you can think you are right, but you shouldn't put that rightness on someone else, because it's kind of like okay. So the best way to describe this interaction, let's say I'm eating vegan or, vegetarian or whatever. And to me, eating animals is just a practice that you really shouldn't do. At least in the current climate, where everything is very processed, like, I don't feel it's right for me. So for my truth is to not eat animals. Now, that is fine. That is completely reasonable. I have free will, so I can decide what I do and don't want to consume, right? But the moment that I try to impose my truth onto someone else, that infringes upon their free will. So even if I think people shouldn't eat animals, I'm never going to tell my roommates or loved ones, you can't eat animals. Never. Because they have free will to decide if eating animals is right for them. And if it's right for them, that's okay. It's my perspective and their perspective. And, again, so long as whatever the rightness, as long as it's not infringing upon other people, generally speaking, it's fine, whatever it is. Now, if someone said, hey, I have the right to, attack you every day. Well, no. Obviously, that's not okay, right? So, again, I'm not going to go over the whole autonomy thing again, but you get the point. So I think that's effectively what this poster is saying in that sentence, or in that paragraph. And it's kind of mentioned a lot throughout this, that it's like, I've already realized this, but I think it's really helpful for people who haven't realized this to know that, you can have your truth, but your truth shouldn't be laid onto other people as fact. Because it may not be right for them, even if you think it would be. Because they're on their journey, and maybe it's really important, going back to the vegan versus, eating animals versus vegetarian stuff. Maybe it's really important for them to be eating animals, because there's something that will happen through the eating of the animals that will help them in some way on their journey. It's possible that, and it could be anything. It may not be something physical, where you have some sort of health issue or whatever. It could be that they feel really good when eating animal products, and their body reacts really well to it. And so being on a plant diet would actually make them feel awful, and it would harm them. That's one example. And I know that there are people like that, because our bodies are all tuned differently. And then on the other side, it could also be, it has nothing to do with the food itself, but the things that the food allows them to experience, where maybe they go to a specific restaurant, and that restaurant only serves meat products of some kind, or products that have meat in them. And that's something that, someone who's vegetarian or vegan wouldn't go to. But they went, and then they had some sort of important encounter that they couldn't have had if they were vegan or vegetarian. So it's like this is why you can't know what's actually right for someone. Hell, it's hard for us to even know what's right for us sometimes. So that's why it's so important. Anyway, I went a little on the... It's just such an important thing to realize. Anyway, so this next paragraph I think is more applicable. I just wanted some context, but the context actually turned out to be important advice. So, I have helped others with their dreams on Reddit since 2022. It's your choice to use the tools I use or find something else that suits your needs. Dreams are given in symbolism and metaphor. This represents the waking experience or the waking day experience. Okay. I use blank, which is the Dream Bible, or it's www.dreambible.com to help interpret most symbols. Great. If I recognize a person, then they use the www.behindthename.com and combine the meanings. So that's what I just did. One could say that learning to interpret... Whoop. I gotta get a new mouse because my mouse's scroll wheel is just broken. And I'm like, why am I still using this mouse if it's broken? So, yeah. Anyway, one could say that learning to interpret what dreams could be is one gift. Okay. Another could be one that is related to the first. To the site. I once was given the words hexagram and Qui-Gon, or Qigong. Oh, right. I totally put it in parentheses the pronunciation. That's like very funny. Yeah, so it's Qigong. In my mind. Didn't have a clue what this was about until I started to study such things. One could say that a hexagram represents the Star of David because of 6 points, or one could say a hexagram is in relation to the Chinese philosophy, since the word Qigong is a Chinese physical practice. I eventually came across Chinese divination that is called I Ching or Yi Jing, where hexagrams are used to represent other types of symbols. It is your choice to research such things or focus on the other word that I was given. Wait, what? Oh, okay. There are plenty of free YouTube videos that show how to practice various forms of Qigong. This is defined as an ancient Chinese health cultivation practice combining slow movement, rhythmic breathing, and meditation to cultivate a balanced qi, vital, and he puts in parentheses, vital life energy, meaning energy work. It aims to improve physical, mental, and spiritual well-being, often used for stress reduction, healing, and mindfulness. And then the last paragraph. In my opinion, before one can give energy, they must maintain their own energy that is within. It is your choice to practice Qigong. Also, in my opinion, it is up to others to be healed. A doctor cannot heal unless the patient is seeking for wellness. Okay. Right. So I generally, I agree with this poster a lot. It's actually interesting that this Qigong is being brought up because in the past I have looked it up, and I've felt like, oh yeah, I should totally do this, and then I just forgot about it. So I think this is kind of a little nudge towards like, yeah, you should probably pick this up if you're going to be trying to do energy healing, because I think it'll help feel the flow of energy more. And I kind of like sporadically do movements that move energy through, like, when I listen to there's a music playlist I've like cultivated where each song is resonant to me in some way. Some are more resonant than others. But when I play it and I do it on like I just mix it, I let my body just kind of flow. I wouldn't call it dancing. I would call it more like energy clearing, because I'm like pushing and pulling energy as I'm doing it. But I do think a more like focused approach to actually like practicing some techniques could be helpful. Man, my third eye is really like, there's a lot of pain there. It's like I'm getting like, I say a lot. It's like a small stab of pain every. Oh, now it's gone as soon as I start talking about it. But like I was getting Oh, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a 2 on the pain scale. It's nothing like, it doesn't hurt so much as it feels like it's almost like raw, or it's like an ache. Almost like I overstressed it somehow, which is weird because I don't remember really doing anything with it. Weird. Okay. I'll have to keep track on that. I'll let some water kind of flow. And, shower plus drinking some water plus getting my body moving. That could, like, make it better. We'll see. It's also interesting. So I used to read a lot of cultivation novels, and effectively cultivators are doing this kind of qigong practice, but there's like superpowers involved, basically. Imagine cultivation novels as basically the Eastern version of superheroes or magic, or both, where basically people cultivate chi or ki, depending on the novel. They'll interchange the two, but yeah, basically like they'll build their body up and like have the flow of energy and be like one with nature, and like it's a whole like spiritual progress or process. And then as they go up in the levels of like cultivating, they get more and more powerful. They can like fly at certain points, and like they can go outside of their bodies with like an nascent soul, and it's a whole interesting kind of progress or process rather. So yeah, that they were fun to read. Not that I'm not going to read them in the future, but they're very long and there's a lot of fighting involved usually, because it's a novel, and cultivators or the cultivation stories, a lot of them are very like violent. Yeah, because they're all like trying to grab resources to like level up in a big rat race to basically become the strongest. And there are some novels I've come across where it's not been like that. It's been more of like relax and like flow and more actual like meditation and cultivation stuff, as opposed to this rat race. But I don't know, maybe it does symbolize something. But anyway, I got a little off topic there. So To be gracious and kind-hearted. I'm going to look up freezer in the Dream Bible. Freezer. To dream of a freezer represents ideas or situations that you totally put off for later, doing absolutely nothing with something until later on. And then putting my clothes in the freezer. Okay. So this is very interesting, okay? Hold on. I will tell you in a second. I want to write this down. Okay, I'm totally going to do this. I don't know if I'm going to do this every day, but maybe in the mornings I can pick a dream and do this and just see what comes up. Because today something very interesting came up. So I haven't bought new clothes pretty much in like I think the last time I bought new clothes was like 2 or 3 years ago, and that was like a couple new shirts that were just plain Jane shirts. You know, I mean, you've seen what I wear. That it's all effectively the same shirt but different colors. And I haven't bought new clothes in a really long time. And you know, again, I bought a couple new shirts, and that was the extent of it. I've been wearing what's it called? I've been wearing track pants because I'm like, I don't want to like get new jeans, because then when I lose weight, I'm gonna have to get new jeans again, and so it's gonna be a waste of money, and then I end up not losing weight for a while, and you know, it's literally been like this for like 10 plus years, where I've had the same, like, you know, 8 to 10 shirts, the same, like, you know, I have bought new socks. They're the little ankle socks. That was a good buy. But, you know, no new pants, no new, like, boxers. I just to, you know, I don't want to make this TMI or anything. So I'll be like, basically I've been using shorts as like boxers because it's like I never felt super comfortable with the like material that most boxers had, and the ones that like I really liked were like really expensive. So I just found like, oh, well, if I use shorts as boxers, like, you know, they're like nice for a nice material. They're thin. You know, they work really well. And also, generally speaking, the material lasts much longer than any of the boxer materials that are used. But anyway, so Yeah, I didn't really think about it, but maybe what I need to do is consider getting new clothes, because what this message is saying, because the whole thing was, John put my clothes in the freezer instead of the dryer to dry them off. That was effectively the dream. There's more to it, but like I don't really remember most of the other parts. And so if I take this message at face value, based on what I learned, I need to be gracious and kind to myself because I've been putting off getting clothes. And so I should get new clothes. This is something I've been putting off for a long time. And even like the current me was thinking like, oh, I'll just get them in a couple months. It's just a couple months so I can get some new clothes then. Now what I should do is I probably should dig through to see if any of my older clothes fit now, because I have a bunch of older clothes I've been lugging around that are like, I have button-ups and all of this other stuff that I just haven't worn in a while because I just couldn't fit them. Oh, excuse me. So maybe I think what this is actually saying is I should bring back a lot of my, because I'm thinner, I should start going through my clothes and start wearing the clothes that make me feel better. Because, I effectively am just wearing a bag that's colored, a colored bag, and then I'm wearing these really baggy, like, don't get me wrong, the track suit stuff is comfortable, but it doesn't make me feel like I look cool. So, I haven't worn jeans in like 10 years, I think, at this point. So, and I do have jeans that do, like, theoretically they'll fit me now, because I think my waist has shrunk, decently. So I could probably wear jeans at this point. I do like wearing jeans. So, yeah, jeans and a button-up. Man, I haven't done that in so long. I do like button-ups. So, maybe I'll start wearing button-ups again. I don't know if I'm going to do full button-up or if I'm going to do the, like... So, there's a couple ways I would wear button-ups. The first would be, like, fully buttoning it up with, like, a white shirt underneath. The second way I would wear it would be wear an like actual t-shirt and then put a button up over top like a jacket almost. So that was cool. But yeah, I think my wardrobe is very outdated and I need to start really considering having a few new pieces of clothing maybe going to, I could go to like a thrift store to just get some like in-between clothes that feel good but also don't cost an arm and a leg. Because if I do that, then I don't feel as bad about spending, like $50 or, maybe like $100 on some clothing, as opposed to like, potentially $1,000 on clothing that I'm gonna outgrow is not even the right word. Like shrink out of, potentially, because ideally at the end, I would like to be wearing clothes that are they like fit me well, as opposed to clothes that are just baggy and don't really fit. Because clothes do say a lot about a person's confidence, and it's another small outward expression of the internal, and I want that to reflect my internal and not be just like I've outgrown my current phase of clothing. So that's actually awesome that the dream helped me do that. So I have so many dreams that I could like dig through, and yeah, I'll have to think about like what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll make a second journal, and that will be annotations for the first journal on like what I read out of it. Because I think I have probably have like 200 or 300. I'm on day 80 of this year, and last year I was on day 186 or something. So that's like 260-ish dreams that I can use as practice for this dream reader skill. Wow, okay. Well, that's cool. That plus the Qigong. Okay, yeah. That seems like a good idea. Alright, well, oh my gosh, it is almost an hour that I've been talking. Wow. This is going to be a long one. Well, so you guys saw, like, I literally didn't even know that I was going to do what I just did by talking about it. And it actually totally fit. The dream that I had last night totally fit with something that I wasn't addressing. So, there's something to that. Again, you guys can choose whether you want to do this or not. But if you remember your dreams, start by just journaling them. And then just make it a habit. It doesn't take that long. It takes like 5 minutes. So you just, whenever you wake up, if you have a dream, have a pen and paper next to your bed on like a nightstand or whatever it is, and write it down, go back to bed, and then when you're actually waking up, again, write down anything that you remember, and just start doing that. You don't have to do anything else. Just do that, and you can collect a journal of your dreams. And if you want to, while you're doing that, you can also try like decoding them with the Dream Bible stuff, with the meaning behind a name or whatever. Maybe I'll... Oh yeah, behind the name. I guess at the end, I will just reiterate what this is. So it's www.dreambible.com. That's the first site that I used based on the recommendation. And then the second one is www.behindthename.com. Check it out. Try it. It's not bad advice. I'm probably gonna make. I am gonna make this a more normal segment of the morning. So I'm hoping it's not gonna be 55 minutes each time I do this. But yeah, this is cool. This is great advice. Really glad that I did this. Okay, I'm gonna go get the rest of the day. I'm gonna start doing stuff. So talk to you guys later. Bye. Hello. It is 10:37 and yep, I totally didn't film the food that I ate in the I don't know, it was 3:30 or something. But that's because I ended up just going to a restaurant. I was out and about and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go to this I think it was a Thai place that had some really good eggplant. So it was like a tofu eggplant scramble. It just had a bunch of veggies, tofu, eggplant. So yeah, it was good. So I had that, and then I just haven't eaten since. Oh my goodness. I'm rendering. Oh my gosh. That's gonna bother me. Hold on. I have my laptop open, and I guess Discord just... There we go. Discord opened on that laptop. I keep forgetting to change the settings so that it doesn't open on startup. But because I don't have my channels muted or anything on that computer, I just get spammed with every Discord server I'm on, which I do think I need to clean that out. There's a lot of Discord servers I just don't ever go on to. In fact, I really don't use any Discord servers aside from occasionally I'll go on to the WoW Guild Discord. Other than that, I don't use any other Discord servers. So maybe just deleting them all. Why not? But anyway. So what is the plan? I don't know. I don't have too much to really talk about. I'm really tired. Actually, I do have a lot to talk about. I just realized. All right, buckle in, buckos. So I'll do a short version because it will... Maybe I'll cover it more tomorrow, but after I ate food, I ended up going to a local metaphysical store, for lack of a better term. A store that sells crystals and tarot cards and all of that stuff. And I ended up getting some crystals and a tarot deck. Even though I already have 2 decks coming to me. One tomorrow and one on, I'm not sure, I think it's the 1st or the 2nd or something. But, so, I randomly wandered in there, because it was near the food place I went to. And I didn't think I was going to really get much of anything. And then I just kind of opened up the crystal. It's a book of the definitive guide to crystals or something. I think that's what the book was. And I flipped to a random page, and there was a stone that basically... It was exactly what I think would help me. So I'm hey, do you have this? And the lady's like, yep, we got 4. They're like, you know, behind protected glass, and like, you know, apparently they're really rare. So I ended up getting one, and that opened the floodgates to like getting some other stuff, like some rose quartz and some. It's just stuff. I'll show it tomorrow. Maybe I don't know. But so all of that happened, and then at the end, as I was leaving, the lady was like, "Hey, you might be interested in this person. He's like a Reiki healer, shaman, and has like a whole. He does a whole. It's a whole thing." And she talked about how it's like, you know, they're friends, and apparently he's like really, really like nice and kind, and just kind of like she thinks that we would get along really well. I'm like, cool, okay, yeah, why not? So I haven't like reached out or anything yet, because I was futzing around with the new tarot deck I got, and yeah, I did like I did a personal like reading for myself, and it's crazy how like accurate a lot of it was. Yeah, it was just like I felt called out, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I did like this something. It was like some sort of something cross, and it's like 11 card spread. Apparently, it's like, I guess, a standard thing that a lot of decks you can do, and yeah, it just kind of covered like everything. And I have a little journal where anytime I want to actually do a reading for myself, I'm going to write it all down in the journal, date it, and say like what it was, so that then I can just keep track of, I want to say how accurate the reading was, but I know it was accurate. Like, just based on so I had shuffled the deck pretty well, but then I decided to cut it down the, not literally cut it, but to split it down the middle. So I had reverse cards, because the that deck does do reverse cards. I think most decks do, but anyway. So I ended up doing a lot of shuffling. I followed the like instructions on how to do that spread, because the booklet has like a few different spreads you can do for your readings, as like, you know, in case you just want to do something more specific, you do that. Otherwise, you know, obviously you can do more of the freehand stuff that a lot of the other people do. And you can kind of figure out your own style. But like, I don't think I'm ever, well, okay, I don't want to say ever. Currently, I don't think I'm going to do anything public with tarot stuff, because I think this is just a personal thing for me. Just to see if the things that I get line up with the things that I'm seeing in reality. And it's just, it's a nice way to track things. So yeah. Anyway, that's that's just something that I've been thinking about. I was just looking at I'm rendering the current stuff on the laptop, like I said, and it's almost done. But oh yeah, I guess today's day 3 of the New York trip that people will see today. So I have a lot planned for the upcoming little bit. I don't know. Well, I'm just going to say something will happen tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm just saying it now, that something is going to happen tomorrow. You'll obviously hear about it when I talk about it tomorrow. But, and I just want to say, currently, I have no idea what it's going to be. Like, I have literally nothing planned on tomorrow. It is a blank day. So, yeah. Yep. So, I guess I'll just leave it there. Yeah, something's going to happen tomorrow. And I think it's going to be important. So, that's why I'm just doing the heads up now. I feel confident enough in saying it. So, alright. Have a good night, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. Big things are afoot. Goodbye.